Hi everybody, welcome back to the Evermore YouTube channel. It's Chris back with another Rumour Has It video where we look at players linked to the club in the upcoming transfer window and beyond. So we're going to get stuck into a couple of attacking players here at the moment. One that we'd quite like us to sign, but there's no definite rumours about yet. And one who is back in the press as well as possibly an outgoing from our current squad. So we're going to get stuck into that in just a second. Before I do, just a gentle reminder, if you haven't already, please click that like and subscribe button. We'd love you to come and join us. We're on 2378 subscribers, I think. So loads of room for you guys. 2 live shows Mondays and Wednesdays and pop-up videos just like this transfer rumour video you're going to watch right now. So let's get stuck into these players. And so let's start with the one that we'd all quite like to maybe have a dabble at. So there is news out of Chelsea, high spending Chelsea, that a few of their players are surplus to requirements. And quite surprisingly, an England forward that they signed in the summer, who's a very fantastic footballer, to be honest, a really good Premier League player, Premier League champion, and everything else, is apparently surplus to requirements after just moving to the bridge in the summer. Of course, we're talking about this man, Raheem Sterling, who's still only 28, if you can believe it. Feels like he's been around for about 300 years, Raheem. But Raheem is a top quality player, there's no doubt about that. Very strange what's going on at Chelsea. They're spending ridiculous amounts of money. Obviously, the signing of Mudryk from Shakhtar Donetsk has just thrown everything out the ballpark altogether. They spent 400 and God knows what odd million quid. So they're going to have to balance their books somehow. And there's quite a lot of players who look like they might be surplus to requirements and will be moved out of the Chelsea squad. And Raheem Sterling is one of them. So there isn't any definite links at the moment for Newcastle United. Apparently, we have been offered Conor Gallagher, Ziyech, and Ruben Loftus-Cheek, or left arse cheek as my daughter calls him. I don't really fancy any of them, if I'm honest with you. Gallagher would be a decent fit at a push. But Raheem Sterling, for me, 100% is a no-brainer. If Newcastle United could get this lad signed up on loan to Newcastle United for the rest of the season with possibly a view to a permanent move in the summer, I think it's unbelievable business. It really is. We all know what Raheem Sterling's all about. He's about pace. He's about skill. He's about pulling wide. He's about scoring goals. You can see there his record at obviously Manchester City was phenomenal. The amazing job there for moving from Liverpool. And even at Chelsea this season, 22 appearances, 6 goals and 3 assists. It's not been disastrous, but there's been a lot of up and down with Chelsea, a lot of change of management and everything else. So yeah, for me, I think this would be a no-brainer whatsoever. You can see how he sits in the percentiles. His goals, he's at the 78th percentile, he's on 0.42 goals in per 90 minutes. Shots to goal ratio 98th percentile. So a very good player. You can see obviously his dribbling, his passing as well is very good. He's had probably an off season by his standards, but he's still a fantastic footballer. And you can see how he compares to Raheem, to St. Maximin on the right hand side there. He does carry a definite goal threat as opposed to ASM. So let us know what you guys think. If you would fancy a bit of Raheem Sterling in a black and white shirt, I know I would. I think anybody who's saying no is just a little bit mad, to be honest with you, because this guy is an unbelievable player. So why wouldn't we want him? So the next player we are going to talk about is a name as well that's been linked to us perpetually ever since we've probably been taken over, to be honest with you. He's one of them players that seem to be on the hit list of the new owners that have been here over a year now, but we're still calling the new owners. So it's this lad right here, Moussa Diaby. So he is back in the press because apparently Newcastle United are considering making an offer for Moussa Diaby. But also Arsenal apparently are sniffing as well after losing out on Mudryk to Chelsea. So we know what Moussa Diaby is like, a younger version really of Raheem Sterling with a bit more power to his game, but pace for days. One of the fastest players I think I've ever seen run at full backs at full tilt. Skillful, got a goal in him, can create a goal as well. This season he's got, I think in 28 appearances overall, he's got 8 goals and 4 assists. So, he's had a decent season. I think Leverkusen started a bit poor, and then Diaby has stepped up and performed quite well for them. They are currently sitting 4 points above the relegation zone, I believe, managed by Xabi Alonso now. I'm surprised he didn't put his boots back on. He might have done them a favour. But we know what he's all about, Moussa Diaby. You can see how he compares next to Maxi. And the reason we've compared him to Maxi, there has been some stories about Maxi, possibly that Newcastle might sell if they get a good offer. And maybe the links to Diaby and possibly a look to Raheem Sterling could maybe spell the end for ASM. I'm still not sure ASM is an Eddie Howe player. He has got abilities, no doubt about that, but I don't think he fits into this modern day Newcastle United under Eddie Howe, whereas I think these two players would do. They've got work rate for days, and even against Fulham, those times when ASM was rolling around, throwing her hands up, taking ages to get on his feet, and it's that frustrating side of ASM that I'm not sure works with Eddie Howe's kind of ethos. You can see we've even compared him next to Miggy on the radar grid as well, and he eclipses Miggy as well in terms of stats. So yeah, I think this lad would be a phenomenal signing, but he won't come cheap. I think Leverkusen want 88 million quid from him, and I'm not sure we're going to spend that in this January window. He could be a summer deal, to be honest with you, and I'd be quite surprised if this one come off in January. But you can see his strengths. He's got key passes, long shot and finishing. His goals, he's in the 85 percentile. His XG 76, shots on target 86, dribbles, he's right up there. Goals to shot ratio 95. His threat is 97 percentile, so he's a phenomenal footballer. And I think either one of these two players would be a brilliant addition to the squad. And there's definitely something up here, because the story is now that apparently Chris Wood is in talks about a loan deal to Nottingham Forest for the rest of the season. Now, Chris Wood, my opinion, Chris Wood, he's not been particularly great for the club. But we wouldn't be letting a player like Chris Wood go in terms of squad depth if there wasn't something happening, if there wasn't somebody coming in. So, yeah, it'd be really interesting to see what's happening. I think, we're on the 18th of January now. So we're coming into the kind of last week and a half of the transfer window. And I think this is where things really will start happening. If we're going to let Chris Wood go, for me, that tells me somebody's coming in, whether it's on loan or permanent. It could be one of these two, Raheem Sterling or Diaby. But let us know what you guys think in the comments below. Again, about Chris Wood as well. Would you be happy to see the back of him? Me personally, I think he was a bit of a bad buy. I think it's probably the worst thing that the new owners have done. Not saying he's a terrible player, but he just doesn't fit this style of play. He can't keep up with the play. He's too slow. And I think we could definitely do with an upgrade there, and we could very well be getting one very soon. So we're always keen to hear what you guys have to say. Smash it in the comments. And as I mentioned at the start, if you haven't, click subscribe. I'd love you to come and join us. Loads of room for you here, all free content on Evermore. We don't charge you a penny for this. We just love talking about this amazing club and all the exciting times that are ahead. And if you can, smash a like on the video. It really helps get it around and spreads the channel far and wide. So until then, let's keep supporting that team. McCoy United. We'll be back with some more transfer rumours soon, and we'll catch you later. Cheers.